Go live. Let's hope that it works. Tell me it's working. Tell me it's working. Waiting to see. And I think it's working. Sorry, this is what I have to do to figure out if the streaming situation is actually working. I have to go into the streaming software and then I have to put it in and then I have to sign on my phone and see if that works. And hopefully it is. Yeah. Okay. Good. It's working. Welcome to the Cobra Kai season 4 live chat on YouTube. I am Pat. I'm the guy that does these recaps. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I think I've done all but 2 of them. Thank you for joining me. So basically, I've been doing a couple of these last 2 weeks. I've done the best, worst, the best movies of the year, the worst movies of the year, and now I've decided to do Cobra Kai since it's such a big show. Cobra Kai season two, Jesus, Cobra Kai season 4. Hit thumbs down for that. Error. Cobra Kai season 4 dropped in late December, January. And here we are. So I figured this is a good time to start talking about it because at this point, I feel like everybody has been caught up and watched it and whatnot. The reason why, if you're wondering if you're regular to the channel or if you're wondering where the recaps have actually been, they are coming. I have been recapping Ozark. I finished it. It is unbelievable. It is so, so good. If you are a fan of Ozark, what you're getting on Friday is just 7 hours of nonstop. Like they don't waste a minute. And the last 10 minutes is absolutely incredible. So that's what I've been doing for the most part. I've just been watching Ozark and recapping it so I can have it ready. I'll also have Servants, the first episode of Servants season 3 ready to go. And then there's another series that I have to start working on. So I haven't been uploading any episodes for recaps, but they are coming. But the last show that I did recap was Cobra Kai season 4. And we figured we just chat it up to see what everybody thought. If you guys want to comment, obviously go ahead. I see Troll UU said Tori kind of fit though. Thought she looked better last season, but whatever. You know, I'm not gonna say that she doesn't look good. Miguel season 2, yeah, I don't know what Miguel was doing this season, but started off. So my only concern with Cobra Kai, and it's a minor one, is just like I don't know where they go after this. You know, they're running out of kind of movies and source material to pull from. They haven't brought Hilary Swank back, which I'm cool with, and they're obviously I don't think could bring Jaden Smith back, which once again I'm cool with, but I feel like the show is kind of running its course a little bit, and I like it. I enjoyed all of it, but when the season ends and it's chosen there, hello Melissa Bonsai. When the season ends and Chosen's there, and it's like, oh, I asked my friend to come back and help me defeat these people. I, I was kind of like, all right, they're just kind of running out of people at this point to kind of bring back, and that's a concern of mine because obviously Chosen was one of the big characters in season 3 when he got brought back. The big one was Terry Silver. I guess technically Terry Silver was this season, but that's one concern that I have is they're just running out of source material and people from the previous movies to bring back because look, there was really only 3 of these and then you got the Hilary Swank one and they're just ignoring that completely, which I'm fine with. But I really, really liked the ending of it. Other than that, I mean, Kreese getting arrested, and they really made Kreese out to be, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? They made him out to be a figure that you feel for. I'm drawing a blank on this. Hit thumbs down because I can't think. But sympathetic character. They really made Kreese out to be a sympathetic character at times this season. He was still John Kreese. He still had that edge, but you saw it with the last fight at the All Valley when Terry Silver told Tori to elbow her in the face again. This ref isn't going to take a point. You don't have to worry about it. And Kreese had to step in and go, no, like do what you want, and you really saw John Kreese kind of turn a corner a little bit with, did I make a mistake bringing this guy back or not? And well, what up, Brandy? Thank you for joining me. And obviously it was solidified by the fact that at the end of the season, John Kreese ends up getting arrested for attempted murder by Stingray. I like that angle because I didn't know where they were going with it. Obviously, Stingray is, a sad sack of patheticness, and he really wanted to be a part of Cobra Kai. So I guess his actions were completely telegraphed, understandable. He should have seen it coming, but still, John Kreese getting arrested and Terry Silver taking over the dojo. I was surprised that. I will be surprised to see if Robbie sticks with Cobra Kai after him and his dad kind of made up. Um, I could see him coming back a little bit. This show has done this, and a lot of shows have done this. I talked about this with my Ted Lasso recap. They've done a really good job of making the character that you like. Next season, it's the character that you can't stand. The character that you can't stand becomes the character that you like. They did that with Hawk. The progression of Hawk's character this season and the redemption story was great. And then you had characters like Sam, who, and this is a credit to the writers, but she's justified in what she's doing. I mean, if you were in her shoes, you probably would have done the same thing. But because all of the backstory and everything that happened, you're kind of like, all right, Sam, stop being a bitch. Like, you got cut on your arm. All right, like, enough. Move on. But she was really unlikable this season. And she wasn't totally unlikable in the sense of John Kreese, who was crazy, but it was just whininess. And I guess it's prototypical for teenagers, but you saw, as I said, the redemption story of Hawk and losing his mohawk, but coming back and winning the All Valley in triumphant fashion. That was awesome. But yeah, it's a show that does that really, really well. And Terry Silver's progression from episode 1 to the final episode and him kind of slowly going off the deep end was something. I'll tell you, this show and Troll says they killed all the side characters' evolution. Yeah, they kind of did, I guess. I mean, I just don't know where they go with the side characters. I don't know where they go with Terry Silver at this point. He's clearly the bad guy. I'll tell you what I'm going to be pissed off at. I'm going to be pissed off if John Kreese ends up joining Miyagi-Do, Eagle Fang, and it's like John Kreese, Johnny, and Daniel. We all got to team up against Terry Silver, his infinite bank account, and his quest to take over karate in the valley. Like, that's a road that I really don't want to go down at all, because at this point I feel like the friends who have become enemies are becoming friends, alliances, all that crap. I feel like it's run its course. And I forgot to share this on Twitter, so I apologize. Let me do that now. But I'm interested to hear what anyone else thinks about the show, what you liked, what you didn't. As I said, I liked a lot of it, though. I mean, I really enjoyed most of it. I liked the new character Kenny. I liked his evolution. I liked the fact that he kind of was taken from being scared a little bit. I mean, he's starting a new school. He gets made fun of. He gets bullied. He seems like a nice kid, but and you saw this with Aisha. I was happy to see Aisha back. Chatting about Cobra. My phone always autocorrects to Conra. Cobra Kai season 4 now. Hit the link. You saw this with Aisha. Aisha was a really nice girl. She kind of got bullied, and she joined karate, and she became a badass who all of a sudden didn't really give a fuck about what was going on. And you're slowly seeing that with Kenny. You're not even slowly seeing it at this point. You saw it. I mean, he went from happy-go-lucky kid who played a game with a damn squirrel wizard to bullying up Anthony LaRusso in a gymnasium and telling him that high school is going to be rough for him. So I guess it's what happens when you get confidence. But even Robbie was taken aback at how aggressive Kenny had gotten and wondering if he really did the wrong thing or not by taking him under his wing. Troll says once Robbie goes, it's a wrap for Cobra Kai. Tori might go because she saw how the ref cheated. I forgot about that part. Yeah. It's got to suck. You think that you finally got something in your life that you're good at and you earned it. And she's been working her ass off her entire life trying to support her and her brother and her mom. And it's like she finally has something go right for her. And to find out that it wasn't legit, it wasn't real, that's gotta suck. Um, I do think that, yeah, once Robbie goes, it probably would be a wrap for Cobra Kai. Look, let's be real. The character of Kyler sucks. He's trash. I mean, the fact that that kid walks around with the stupid haircut that he does and thinks that he's tough is cringeworthy, and borderline annoying. But he can't lead a dojo. He's not good enough. He's mediocre, subpar at best. So I don't know who else they would get. You're not going to be able to introduce a character, like hypothetically speaking, say Robbie and Tori do end up leaving Cobra Kai. Say, and I do think Tori's a realistic example because the way that this show has been going, if you're enemies one season, you're going to be friends the next, or at least at the very least allies the next season. So Tori and Sam linking up is a very real possibility. You could 100% foresee a situation where Sam ends up finding out Tori's backstory, which she clearly does not know, and everything going on at home and the mom and all that, and the fact that her aunt is clearly trying to get a cash grab, and all of a sudden, kind of Sam realizes she was being a little bit of a bitch. So I could see that going down, but if they lose both of them, you're not going to be able to introduce a character episode 1, and by episode 10, they are this unbelievable fighting machine. I guess maybe you can because of Terry Silver's pull and his money connections. It's not other, but that story arc would be rushed to me. I mean, a lot of the characters that they brought on with this show, they've done it in a trajectory that kind of it's not this meteoric rise. It's a slow incline. And even with the Miguel character in season 1, it was like, all right, he was one student in one dojo and it was a miraculous run. But you look at Dimitri, like Dimitri kind of got his ass kicked when he started doing karate. And he gets to the semifinals, I guess, of the All Valley, and he was cool with that. It wasn't like Dimitri started doing karate and all of a sudden he won the All Valley. They had to do that in the first season because of the fact that you're not going to have Miguel lose the All Valley. But if they bring in a new character, have them join Terry Silver's Cobra Kai group, and then all of a sudden it's they're the big man on campus and they're kicking everybody's ass, that's going to be cringe. I don't want to say it's cringe, it's bad though. I'm not a fan of it. Aren't they all over 18 next year too? So can't compete. Yeah, I do wonder at what point do they just age out of this. Now, I believe they are. Yeah, I guess they would be seniors, right? Because first season they were sophomores, and it was like sophomore. I think first and second season were both sophomore years, and then last year was junior, so this would be senior year, I think. Good question about that. I mean, eventually, another show that I really liked was Blue Mountain State. I don't know if anyone that watches right now watched Blue Mountain State, but that was a problem that they had in Blue Mountain State, and another show, Friday Night Lights, that I loved, where when you do these shows based on high school athletics, eventually the kids have to age out eventually, and then they find creative ways to keep them involved, but they don't bring up a lot what grade they're in. They brought up college. But then again, I'm sure we've all known kids that start looking at colleges at freshman year. So you obviously know that Miguel and that Sam aren't freshmen. You know that they're not sophomores. But other than the college angle of it, of bringing up where Miguel might be looking at, they don't bring up what age or how old or what year they're in. So that's a really good point. Melissa says, I love Cobra Kai. I love how they're always flipping the script, especially with the characters. Still like Sam, but I agree she went a little too far. Yeah, look, I said a little earlier, you understand where Sam's coming from. I really wouldn't want anything to do with Tori either. And then to find out that your mom is kind of befriending Tori, not knowing the backstory of why she's befriending Tori. Look, I've never been a 17-year-old girl. I don't know what they're thinking, but I can imagine she's probably pissed off at that. I'm sure I would be pissed off at that. So understand completely where she's coming from. Listen, I hope that we see more Aisha because she's the only one that uses the Cobra methods that way that Johnny was. I don't know why they got rid of the character Aisha. It was weird. And when she didn't show up in season 3, it was kind of like highlighted, like Aisha's not here and we don't know really what happened. And the fact that I feel bad for the actress, honestly. I mean, this show's such a juggernaut that it must suck to get written out. The fact that Aisha's here and Kyler's still, like, Aisha's not here, but Kyler still is. At least they got rid of the fat dude with the curly hair, the blonde curly hair in season 1, who was a bully. He was like one of Kyler's friends. At least they got rid of him. But Aisha's one of the few characters I feel like that they just got rid of for no real good reason, other than hey, her dad moved away. Like that's lazy writing to me. I don't know if the actress or her management tried to get a pay raise and they were like, yeah, we don't really need you. You're not that good of an actress anyway, but do feel bad for her. Ever performed a perfect crane kick only to realize you've also sharded? I have not. I have not. But I'll tell you what, they did a really good job of doing the tornado kick, and then he drops and his back's all messed up. Man, you want to talk about a cliffhanger where you're like, all right, now I have to watch the next episode? And then to find out that it's a back spasm, I completely felt baited and switched on that because when I watched it, I was exhausted. And the way that that episode ended, I needed to find out. Hello, Sky. I needed to find out if like he actually broke his back again. And if I had the ability to, I would splice in the Mike Tyson clip right now of his back is broken spinal. But all of a sudden I was just back spasms 30 minutes. And we haven't really talked about the whole Miguel angle yet, but the Miguel angle is interesting in the sense of, so he's just going to go off and try to find his dad, and his dad doesn't know who he is. And I've always kind of expected his dad would eventually show up. The fact that he hasn't yet, I feel like that was just a part of the series where they were eventually going to go down that path. I don't know how interested I am in that angle, though. Miguel going down there and finding out his dad is Omar Navarro from Ozark would be an interesting story angle for sure, but I don't know. Johnny's going to go after, and that's one of the things that I think they might do in season 5 is they might literally have Miyagi-Do kind of go by the wayside because not Miyagi-Do, I'm sorry, Eagle Fang kind of go by the wayside. And as Johnny goes down to Mexico and tries to find Miguel, and then really it's left with Miyagi-Do versus Cobra Kai. You've got Daniel and Chosen versus Terry Silver. They might do that angle, which would be interesting, but I just don't know if I'm really interested in Johnny trying to track down Miguel in Mexico or not. I'm still pretty surprised that Miguel just walked out and his mom didn't know, his grandmother didn't. Like, I feel like his mother, in a realistic situation, would have been in the back with him the entire time. She wouldn't have just left him and been like, all right, well, we'll wait for you to come out. And then after 30 minutes, he doesn't come out. But, like that was kind of suspect to me. I've always said that Sam is not aware of Tori's severe troubles, especially with her mom, but I hope the season 5 makes that clear. And I bet this should be part of the solution. Yeah, I think it was a common thing for me, at least in high school, where you didn't quite know what everybody was going through, and then you find out maybe later in life that this person's dad had something that's going on or something at home and blah blah blah. And obviously, Sam lives a pretty sheltered life. She is the definition of privileged. But I think she sees Tori as just a bully, and it's understandable why. But when you find out Tori's backstory, you also kind of see why she has such a tough exterior to her. The Tori character, I really, really like. But I definitely think that their relationship, Tori and Sam, is going to end up being like Johnny and like Daniel. They're never going to be really friends. They might get along for half an episode, but there will be something that goes down where all of a sudden they start fighting. I like the fact that Daniel finally came to the realization this season that his way is not the only way, because I was getting tired of hearing the Miyagi-Do rhetoric of, no, defense, defense, defense. No, am I right? No, that's the wrong way of doing it. And finally, the fact that multiple people came up to me like, dude, just because you do it your way doesn't mean that every other way is the wrong way. I get it. You learn from this dude who showed up and it was great for your life, but me doing this over here, it's not the wrong way to do things. And the fact that he finally came around to that line of thinking was nice. I did like the angle of Johnny and Daniel trying to teach each other karate and trying to teach each other the other disciplines, because I do think it's important that they do at least see where the other side is coming from, kind of like the Tori and Sam angle. They don't know where the other side's coming from. I hope season 5, Sav said, I hope season 5 doesn't turn Anthony into an absolute demon that goes and destroys Kenny. I don't think it will. I'll tell you what's surprising to me. Ever seen the movie Blades of Glory? If so, that's how a tornado kick should finish. MTH60. I have seen Blades of Glory a long time ago. I haven't watched it in a while. I will try to go back and rewatch it because I do like that movie. It's erotic. It gets the people going. So this show started out, I don't know if a lot of people know, this show started out originally on YouTube. YouTube had an original content service that was like YouTube Red, and they tried to do a Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, all that. Didn't really go well. They actually announced this week that they're done with scripted television. I thought they were done a while ago. But it started off on YouTube. First 2 seasons were on there. That's why you can find it all. I think you can still find it all for free. And I think the fact that it started off on YouTube was one of the reasons why all of the acting is so incredibly bad. You obviously had to get Ralph Macchio back, who is brutal. And you had to get, oh my God, I'm drawing a blank on his name, but Johnny. I think Johnny's pretty good, actually. But the kids are horrible. And my line of thinking was, even though YouTube's owned by Google, it was a risk to even make this show. They weren't breaking the bank for child actors, and they got pretty brutal child actors. I mean, the kid who plays Miguel, bless his heart, is one of the worst actors I've ever seen. The entire scene of, but Hawk is my friend. Oh my God, I wanted to cry. Sam, while I love her, and I would take the actress out to Qdoba, is pretty bad. She's brutal. Kid who plays Hawk is really good. Don't mind Dimitri, but Robbie's terrible. Robbie is brutal. So you've got basically 3 of the main characters, horrible actors. I think they were in their price range. I think they lucked out with Anthony, though. I mean, in the timeline of the show, Anthony grew up real fast. But that guy who plays Anthony LaRusso is the same guy who was playing Anthony LaRusso in season 1. And I think he's a really, really good actor. I was really impressed by him this season. I always thought his character was untapped potential for the show. Obviously, they explored it this season. The fact that he never really wanted to get into karate, the Kenny angle might force him to get into karate. I think it's going to be the exact same thing with like how Sam had to kind of get back into karate a little bit. I just don't know if he has the discipline. I do love his character's backstory a little bit, with like the fact that he's kind of the poster boy for not all kids, but like what a lot of adults think kids are, right? The kids that sit on their phone the whole time, playing video games, watching Fortnite, having no interest in doing any active activities, and are just spoiled brats. That is his character. And he's kind of played that up a lot too to his friends, who, I mean, need to get punched in the face, quite frankly. Hit thumbs down for the water break. But I'm very interested to see what they do with him. I think he's going to have to join Cobra Kai. I think he's going to get bullied to the point where, even though he doesn't want to do the activities, he's going to have to. But I don't really blame Kenny for doing what he did. Like, at what point does a kid have a breaking point and just say, you know what, like, screw this, and take it out on the kid who was bullying him? Yeah, Anthony tried to come back and apologize and say bygones and bygones, but keep in mind too, he did that after seeing Kenny beat the hell out of a couple kids and put on a display that was really impressive at the All Valley. So if there's one person that knows about the All Valley, it would be a LaRusso. And the fact that he decided to come in after the fact and, oh, hey, man, you know, I think we should put it all water under the bridge crap. Yeah, amazing timing there, bud. Lapusso is a weakling. Yeah, he is, but let's see what they do in season 5. Have you ever seen Archive 81? I enjoyed it quite a lot. I have not. I don't even know what Archive 81 is. I'll have to rock a Bing search on that. Love Tori's character. Love how Amanda was just there for Tori and helped her the way that she needed it. Honestly, when it comes right down to it, Amanda is way better of a mentor than Kreese. Yeah, I mean, she is. I like the fact that Amanda tried to kind of stick up for her family and then realized, oh, I just got this girl fired and maybe I messed up quite a bit. Look, it took John Kreese going to her and saying, yeah, you don't know the backstory of this girl at all, and informing Amanda. And that's when Amanda tried to step up a little bit and help Tori out. The LaRussos as a whole, though, I just something about them they kind of suck. I mean, I feel like they stick their nose in places it doesn't belong. And like with this situation, like, yeah, I'm happy that Tori has somebody in their life. She needs somebody. She needs a positive female role model in her life. But it's I feel like their heart's kind of in the right place, but maybe at times they should just back the hell off and leave sleeping dogs lie. And I'm not talking about Amanda taking Tori under her wing. I'm talking about Amanda getting a teenager fired. Like, just stay out of it. Once again, it wasn't like, I think what's lost on the show is it wasn't like Tori stabbed Sam. She didn't, like, she cut her. And it wasn't like really intentional, but I guess it kind of was. But they were fighting. I mean, they were having a fight. She got cut by a bracelet. It wasn't like she pulled out a switchblade. So the whole reaction from the LaRusso family was kind of annoying, honestly. I mean, oh my God, she's a psychopath and blah, blah, blah. Like, you guys had a brawl in the school. Like, get off your high horse. Looking for suggestions on Netflix similar to Emily in Paris. Yeah, if you guys want suggestions, look, I haven't watched Emily in Paris. I hear good things. I don't know if I will watch it, but throw suggestions out there. Archive 81 is new on Netflix, number 3 show in the UK now. I'll check it out. I will definitely check it out. I think my next show is going to be Yellow Jackets. I tried to start it. I had to fly down from Tampa, and I downloaded it and tried to start it. Didn't get to it, but that'll be probably the next show that I recap as I'm doing Servant and Snowpiercer. I'll splice in episodes of Yellow Jacket too. I mean, Snowpiercer and Servant, they're once a week episodes, so I don't really have to worry about getting the full series out. But Friday Ozark drops, and that's pretty much done. And then I'll be looking for something else. So Yellow Jackets, and then maybe I'll check the show out. But I'm interested though. I mean, throw out what you guys thought of this season, if you liked it, if you didn't, and what you guys think is going to happen for season 5. I've kind of thrown out my theories a little bit, but I'm interested in yours. Do you think that Anthony will use that scroll that he found in his family's dojo in a future season? I don't know how you're going to use it. It's a piece of paper. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to open it up and look at it? Like, cool. Look, it's a scroll. I don't know how you use that. I think Anthony needs to I think Anthony is going to be forced to man up a little bit and find a discipline. And he doesn't have that. He clearly doesn't have that. He's from the reactionary generation that we kind of have now, where it's, immediate gratification. You don't want to put the work in. God, I sound like such a boomer by saying this, but he's a very normal 14-year-old, 13, 14, whatever he is. Like, that's a normal kid. Like, that's what I expected if I were to meet a kid buried in his phone the whole time and doesn't really want to sit there and clean cars. That's the thing that's lost on Daniel in the show. He was forced to clean cars by Mr. Miyagi, and, he didn't like it either, but he did it. Well, Anthony doesn't want to do it, and he's got a million different distractions to keep him from doing it, Daniel didn't have an iPhone to keep him from doing it. Daniel didn't have the ability to call up somebody and pay them. So that's what I think is lost on Daniel, and it's the generational gap between father and son of like, yeah, okay, you didn't want to do this either, but what else did you have going on? I have a lot going on. Like, I can sit here and watch some idiot talk about a Netflix show on YouTube and drink water, which I have to do now. Like, I could do that instead of cleaning your cars. I mean, I think my one thing what boils down to is this show really could be renamed Giant Miscommunication, because the lack of communication by all the characters in the show is astounding to me. And Daniel's communication skills suck. If he were to tell Anthony, I want you to clean these cars, and this is why, and the technique, and it'll work, and all of that, I think it would go a long way. But to Anthony's defense a little bit, Anthony comes out, all right, like, I'm ready to train. Oh, do I get to train with knives? Do I get to train with swords and blah, 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 or whatever they're called? No. Oh, what do I get to do? Go clean my car. Like, yeah, I'd be a little suspect on that too. I'd be a little skeptical. So I don't blame Anthony's reaction to it of, wait, I can just pay somebody to do this. Because Daniel never explained to him that by cleaning the cars, there's a method to the madness. So, in fact, I actually sided with Anthony on this. He was smarter, not harder. And I don't blame him for doing what he did. And Daniel's communication skills since day one have absolutely sucked with this show. He does not communicate. None of them do. Everything is a giant misunderstanding that if they just sat down and explained a little bit, maybe it would help. But none of them do, because they all think that the other one has an agenda. They said Miguel's dad didn't know him, so I hope he goes back to Johnny while Robbie is. Yeah, I'm gonna. I'll tell you. I joked about it earlier. I would love if the character, the guy who plays Omar Navarro in Ozark, played his dad. Like, that would be just an incredible Easter egg. I don't expect it at all, but HBO reuses the same actors. If you get a job at HBO, you have a job for life. Doesn't matter how bad of an actor you are. I'm looking at you, Ziggy, from season 2 of The Wire. It doesn't matter how bad of an actor you are. You're going to have a job for life. I would love if Netflix was like, yo, Miguel's heading down to Mexico. Let's have some fun. Bring back the guy who played Omar Navarro, and we'll have him be Miguel's dad. And we won't even give him the name Omar Navarro. Hello, Ethan. Thank you for joining me. We won't give him the name Omar. We won't do that. But everybody will know, and it'll be kind of a conspiracy theory video that people on YouTube like me would make. But I would love that. Love it. Elven Power. Yeah, that was from my The Witcher season 2 recap that we did a live chat for a couple weeks ago. Season 5 will give interesting into Miguel's story. I'm so happy to find out who his dad is. Hope they do that with Tori and Johnny. The Johnny angle, yeah. I don't know if I want to meet his dad. I liked the relationship that he had with Sid because it was so dysfunctional. But while I'm not really into the Miguel dad storyline, they've been hinting at it for so long that I kind of am weirdly invested in it. I'm kind of here for, weirdly enough, like the karate angle of it, but the storyline of him and his dad, yeah, I guess they are setting you up for Miguel finding his dad, maybe realizing his dad's not that great of a guy, and then Miguel pressuring Johnny to reach out to his father, or maybe Johnny realizing that this 17-year-old kid was brave enough to get on a bus and go down to Mexico to find his dad, so maybe he should do the same. Sav, I completely agree with that theory. I kind of would expect it to happen, honestly. Now that you bring it up, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. They've been hinting at it for so long, and with Sid dying, yeah, I mean, eventually you figure you're not going to lay the groundwork there and not put up the house, right? Just watch the new Dune movie. So confusing. I got to watch it again, Simon. I just got it on digital, and yes, very confusing. Especially I saw it, the theater I saw it in, it was not really built for movies, and the sound mixing sucked. Melissa says, like Cobra Kai, especially season 4, because they really fleshed out Eli and Tori. Season 5, I'm really looking forward to seeing Chosen's contribution to him and Daniel training together. The Eli and Tori storyline, you felt for Eli, and kind of like how Sam reacted with Tori, you understood why Eli was getting so much crap from the Miyagi-Do kids, but they came around to him pretty quickly, right? I mean, didn't take very long. I mean, it was what, 2 episodes, and he built a Miyagi training board, blah blah blah. I mean, I was really worried that they were going to ostracize him so much that he wouldn't stick with the plan, but eventually he did. He kind of put in his penance, if you will, and he's back to being one of the guys and well respected, and I like that. I mean, that kid Jacob Brenthal or whatever his name is, he really good actor. One of the few good ones on the show, honestly. But his whole angle of getting his hair cut, and what I loved is the fact that he gets his hair cut, changes his entire attitude. Where he comes back, he's got like the hood up, and they're like, "Yo, what happened?" And he takes it down, and all of a sudden, the show did a really good job of making him Eli again, making him that scared introvert who was terrified of everybody, and then the fact that Moon comes up and has to explain to him like that mohawk was cool, but that's not who you are. And stupid as that sounds, because it's ridiculous that he would even need to hear that, it was important. And when he jumps on, he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna win this whole fucking thing." It's like, yes. But then again, you want Robbie to win too a little bit. You don't want Cobra Kai to win because of the bet that they had, but you also think, kind of it's Robbie's time a little bit. Like I was cool with any way that ended. I think that Robbie's angle of, the problem, he laid it out perfectly. You think your way is the right way, and he thinks his way is the right way. And the problem is you're both wrong. You can mix it. And I'm not taking sides. I'm just here to get mine, and that's it. And I'm literally using the system. And I think that's one of the reasons why he might go back with his dad. But his attitude was one that I didn't hate. He was on the wrong side. I mean, obviously, I think you want to cheer for Miyagi-Do, Eagle Fang. You don't. If anyone cheered for Cobra Kai, it's fine. But I think you're hoping that Cobra Kai doesn't succeed. But Robbie was really a character on that side where you didn't dislike anything he did. I mean, I guess he really didn't dislike anything Tori did this season, because they really showed the backstory of Tori more. They showed her struggle of finding jobs. And by the way, great job by the writers to make it seem like Tori was going to be a stripper. And then you find out, no, she's just dressing up for children's parties. I really like that. His dad would be dead by now. Oh, sorry. Whoa, hit thumbs down for that noise. I kicked the table. Yeah, I would think his dad would be dead by now too. I also don't know. I don't know what me, the viewer, gets out of Johnny meeting his dad, honestly. Closure for the character, but like he already seems like he had closure with Sid. So I don't know what you really truly get out of that. But I do think they're going to do it. What does it mean? Never put passion in front of principle. I have no idea, Daniel. I'm going to be honest with you. No clue what that meant. I was lost with that, but it sounds good. I'll be honest with you. It sounds like something that they got out of a fortune cookie. It sounds like fortune cookie wisdom. It fit the brand of the show. You kind of just let it go, but I didn't understand the never put passion in front of principle line either. Ethan said, I cannot wait for this Monday because Snowpiercer season 3 comes out. Yeah, I can't wait either, Ethan. I obviously I've recapped all the seasons, season 1 and 2. Then I did a recap of the combined season 1 and 2. If you haven't seen that show, do not get discouraged about the fact that it is on TNT. I kind of have preconceived notions a little bit with shows on TNT or ABC or, that's not basically not like a streaming service or cable. Do not get deterred by that. I think you can find the entire series right now on HBO Max. It is so good. You can binge watch it and get caught up. You can watch one of my recaps. I'm not going to beg. But yeah, it's a really good show. Season 3 drops on Monday. I have it. I have not watched it because I've just been so preoccupied with getting Ozark finished, which it's finished now. So I think tomorrow I'll finally dive into Snowpiercer. But I too am looking forward to it. Really, really good show. Movie's really good, based on a graphic novel. The guy who did Parasite did the movie years ago, Bong Joon-ho. And they took the idea and they made a TV show out of it. So if you haven't watched it, a little sidetrack there, but yeah. Chosen is the strongest right now. I guess. I don't know. Do we know that? I mean, I guess because he beat Daniel, but Terry Silver's kind of strong. Although the one scene in the show this season they had a couple cringeworthy scenes. The scene where Terry Silver, and it's not the actor's fault who plays him. Okay, the guy's old. I get it. The scene where Terry Silver tries to prove that he still got it, and it ends with like him going like that. That to me was I found it really tough to believe that guy who stood there in episode 3, like this, was the same guy 6 episodes later beating the hell out of Johnny in an abandoned building. Did not buy that one bit. I think Johnny would have tuned him up. No problem. I also find it hard to believe that he beat up Robbie. I know that he's supposed to be a sensei. I get all that. But you watch that first initial, like, yeah, I've still got it. And I'm not talking about the spin kick. I'm talking about like him with Kreese in the building. And you watch that little like, yeah, I still got. Nah, man, like he would have got his ass beat. What else do we have here? I can't wait for Johnny and Chosen interactions. Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting conversation for sure. Chosen's character coming back and like honking the nose in season 3, love that part. Hawk better grow it back and get a green. Why green? I don't have a problem with like I'm an Eagles fan, so I like the color green. Green's cool, but I mean, Sav, please by all means tell me why it needs to be green. Jacob Bertrand, yes, that is his name. Chosen. I'm read to that. Brant Solos, and what is Brant Solos? Explain that to me, please. It's the old Samson and Delilah thing. Only Delilah to say to help Samson this time. Okay. Never put passion in front of that. Okay, that makes sense a little bit. Still don't get it, but I understand the whole Samson and Delilah thing. I thought it was ridiculous that a guy got his strength through hair, but whatever. Robbie will be the first dojo leader of Miyagi-Do. Yeah, I guess that would fit. It's going to be interesting to see the lovers quarrel between Robbie, Sam, and Miguel, though. Like, are they over it? Miguel's in Mexico, but I mean, Robbie's kind of got Tori now. That's going to be interesting to see if they still continue to hook up or not. Love the PG nature of this show. Like, they curse every once in a while, but like they never will go that full board. Kind of like that. Like, you've clearly got Tori and Robbie, bang each other's brains out in a car, but they won't go there. So, God, I miss high school. You drove the Cobra Kai dojo for the same reason you drove. I don't really get the comment. You drove the Cobra Kai dojo for the same. You're talking about like. All right, explain that. Well, honestly, I'm more into Tori than I am Sam, to tell you the truth. Gotta love the girl from the wrong. Yeah, look, John. I'm with you. Sam is a lot of things that Tori says about Sam of being that privileged little bitch is true. It's not Sam's fault that she grew up in a privileged household, but she did. But she is like she doesn't. Sam has never had to want for really anything, and you clearly see that. And a couple of people have said it before in the chat already. I know Melissa has that in season 5. You really expect her to see what Tori is going through. I'm surprised that we got through all this season and Amanda, who was trying to help Tori out, never pulled her aside and said, yo, this girl's going through a lot, so back off. Because the way that Sam was acting, it wasn't behind Amanda's back. Amanda was well aware of how Sam felt, and she could have informed him. And this goes back to my lack of communication. These characters suck at communicating. Ethan says, oh, have you seen the new trailer? I try to avoid trailers at all costs, honest to God. I will end up seeing Nauseum, I'm sure. Possible to avoid. I've heard good things. I have not seen it. I will not seek it out. Eventually, I'll end up seeing it. You root for the Cobra Code for the same reason you root for a heel in wrestling. Yeah, I get that, I guess. I just didn't want... Like, the John Kreese character is so damn good that I didn't want him to win. And I also, right, to give the writers some credit, Never thought in a million years that Cobra Kai would win because I didn't think that they would put Miyagi-Do or Eagle Fang in a position where they couldn't do karate in the Valley. Obviously, at the end of the season, Daniel says, yeah, I made that bet, but I don't know if I'm going to really honor it. So, you're not really giving up karate in the desert or the Valley, and Terry Silver is going to open up a bunch of dojos and try to franchise this thing. So, I find it funny that they're the bad guy. Like Cobra Kai is the bad guy, but the show is called obviously Cobra Kai. Don't put what you want ahead of what's important. Yeah, no, I get I still think it sounds like it's something from a fortune cookie. Let's go. If you want them to stay on Netflix, because if they leave Netflix, I can't watch. Sorry, but I am. What does PO mean? If I want them to stay on Netflix, because if they leave Netflix, I can't watch. Sorry, but I'm PO. I don't know what that means, man. Do you not get the show? I know in some countries, like unfortunately, they don't get the show. Netflix is weird. We got one guy here across the pond, Simon. My buddy Simon's across the pond. So I don't know, but explain that, please. Putting passion before principle is kind of like taking a grade. Yeah, it's just I'm not a smart guy, so like I get it, I guess, but I just felt like it was a forced line. Suspensions of the moon overrated. Tory. I like Moon. If we're talking about the hot factor, I think for Sam, I'm big looks wise, just looks. I like Sam. Peyton List. Yeah, she's not. I wouldn't not take her to Cadoba. What do you think that Silver will do to Tori when he finds out that Tori knows that he bribed the ref for to win? I don't know if Tori even brings it up to him. Now, her attitude leads me to believe she will. She's very confrontational. But I also think that Tori was so hurt about the fact that she knows that winning it was a sham that I don't know if she does. How do you even broach that topic? Hey, what were you doing? You know full well what he was doing. You know that he was talking to the ref and paying him off for it. You know that you didn't win. So I don't know how you do it. I think that there's a good chance that Tori just sits with it and lets it breathe. And I think she goes back to the dojo and it might be a situation where Terry Silver continues to hype her up so much and is making her the poster child for the Miyagi-Do franchise because she is the champion from their dojo and he's putting her on billboards and he's, kind of profiting off of her a lot like the NCAA with the athletes, that she kind of gets pissed off and she finally leaves and goes like, no, like this is a lie. I didn't win honorably. I didn't win legitimately. You're putting me out there because you want to make money off your franchises, but we don't have a champion. I'm not that champion because you paid off the ref. So I think there's a good chance that happens. It's going to be interesting to see what they do in season 5, though. I expect season 5 to come out next year around, December, same time, I guess. So I think they're already starting to film it. So, but as I said at the beginning, if you're new to the stream, welcome. Thank you for joining. But I just don't know where this series is going to go. I don't know how far they can continue to go. Ethan, it's got to buy. I think you mean got to go by. Ethan, if you have to leave, thank you for joining. We appreciate it. But I just don't know where this series is going to go from here. They're running out of the secondary characters from the series to bring in. They're bringing back Chosen. If they had literally ended it with Kreese getting arrested, I would have been all for that. But when they ended it with Daniel at the Mr. Miyagi's gravesite, I wasn't wowed by it, I guess. Really wasn't wowed at all. So I think they're going to bring back some secondary characters. Maybe Aisha. I think Kenny's brother gets out of juvie, comes back. He might be a guy that joins the dojo. Obviously, he's close connections with Robbie. But if Robbie ends up going to Eagle Fang, these kids switch gyms like crazy. So, and obviously Eagle Fang has their female champion that they're going to be trying to build up. So it'll be interesting to see what these writers do. I mean, they have a plan. I think they're re-up for at least 2 more seasons, season 5 and season 6. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with the trajectory. But I'm just worried that, and I had the same thing happen with, ironically, 2 Showtime shows, Homeland and Shameless, where eventually the show kind of ran its course, and by the latter seasons, I was completely out on it, and it just needed to end. And I worry that Cobra Kai, I don't want to say it needs to end right now, but I worry by the end of season 5, I will be fully on board of like, yeah, this probably should have been the last season, and they're going to do another one. So we'll see, though. We'll see. Do you think Silver will use his money power and Tori's need to win to influence Tori into saying anything, especially if he recognizes how much he cares for family? Definitely. Haven't thought about that, Melissa. Definitely think he will. I mean, you've already kind of seen him try to use his money and influence to help out Robbie, to giving his mom, Shannon, a job. She has no idea what she was even doing. I will say, though, I didn't believe that whole conversation with Johnny. I mean, Shannon gets out of rehab. She's doing better. And the guy who's running Robbie's dojo comes to her and says, I'm going to offer you a job. Now, because you know about everything going on in the show, yeah, on the surface you go, wow, what a creep, maybe. You know, like he's going a little bit over the line. But I think if a normal human being were to do that and offer you a job fresh out of rehab, you're probably just saying thank you and when do I start? So didn't really buy that angle, but it did set you up for the idea that Terry Silver has no problem throwing money around to people that need it. I do find it interesting, though, that Terry Silver tried to help out Shannon, and obviously he helped out Robbie and Tori go to prom, but Terry Silver never he's not aware of Tori's struggles. Kreese never told Terry Silver about what she's going through. Instead, Kreese goes and finds Amanda LaRusso at a Whole Foods and blows up her spot in the cheese section, but he never once mentions to Terry Silver. Like, that's one thing that I didn't like, is I think they should have had it like, I guess Kreese sitting Terry down and going, all right, here's what we got. Robbie's the best one. Tori's the second best. Then we got this kid, and so on and so forth and down the line, right? And Robbie is Johnny's son. Obviously, that's well known. Tori's going through a hard time. Like, Kreese knows. So the fact that Terry Silver hasn't helped out, I find it a little hard to believe. And I think it's lazy by the writers. The writers have done such a good job. I've given them credit on this live chat for 52 minutes. That is one angle that I just feel like they missed a spot. And it happens. I mean, shit. You ever listen to my recaps? I miss spots all the time. I was unhappy with Sam's character because they made the viewer believe that she's hardening up. Then she cries the first time she gets punched in the face. Supernova, I can't get mad at Sam's character. I'm what the kids refer to as a bitch. That's just me. If I got punched in the face, I might cry. With that said, she went to her corner. She came back. I think the problem with Sam's character, Supernova, I don't know if you just joined, but I spoke about this a little bit earlier. So if you're one of the people that have been here the whole time, I'm just going to repeat myself. But Sam's character is completely unaware of Tori's backstory, and Sam's attitude towards Tori is kind of justified in a lot of ways. It's understandable at the very least, but I talked about it earlier. The miscommunication in the show, no one has sat Sam down and told her exactly what's going on with Tori. Tori is too proud to actually sit Sam down and say, yo, back the hell off. My mom, I don't have a mom like yours who's invested. You know, my mom has got problems. My dad's not in the picture. I'm raising my brother. She's not going to do that. She's way too proud. So I don't hate what they did with Sam's character. I think that was a realistic approach, honestly. What I don't think is a realistic approach is at no point did Amanda LaRusso pull Sam aside and say, yo, just ease up on her. She's going through a lot. She's got a lot going on. I got to go, perfect stream. Try not to over-explain. Thank you, Troll. You were the first person here. I appreciate that. Thank you for sticking around. I'm probably going to wrap up soon as well. If there are any more comments, questions, all that good stuff on Ozark, or not Ozark, sorry, I got Ozark on the brain. On Cobra Kai, hit thumbs down. I forgot what show we were even recapping or doing a live chat of. Cobra Kai season 4. Throw them out there. If not, I am going to wrap up while I wait for questions to come in because I know that it takes a little bit. As I said in the beginning, Ozark season 4 part 1 comes out on Friday. It is 7 episodes. Then part 2 is going to come out. The rest of the 7 episodes. Thank you, Vincent. I appreciate that. This was great, wasn't it? I think we all can agree. Look at those legs pile up. Boom, boom, boom. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Ozark comes out on Friday. I have recapped the entire thing. It is going to drop on Friday. So this is one of the reasons why I will never, ever, ever beg you to hit the bell button. There are days like Friday where I am going to drop 7, 8 episodes, 9 episodes at once. I don't want your inbox getting blown up. With that said, though, Ozark comes out. I have a season 3 recap up. If you need a refresher, obviously, of what went down, Vincent, I really appreciate that donation. Thank you, man. If you need a season 3 recap, I have it for you. If you don't need a season 3 recap, just do me a favor. Hit play, put it on mute, let those ads run. I got bills to pay. Vincent, just help me pay a bill. Okay, probably going to be the heating bill. But yeah, look, if you need a recap for Ozark season 3, I got it. Go to the channel. And if you need it, somebody else does. So put it on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, wherever. But I can tell you now that the embargo is up, season 4, part 1 is incredible. Unbelievable television. The last 10 minutes are amazing. Julia Garner, who plays Ruth, has a rant in this season. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but she's got a rant that just wrapped up the Emmy for her. And she's an unbelievable actress, but she 100% just wrapped it up. So do yourself a favor, grab a nice paella and just clear your calendar this weekend for Ozark. It is unbelievable. But that whole recap of part 1 will be dropping on Friday, as will episode 1 of Servant, season 3. That is the Apple show. That will be also dropping on Friday at some point. I got to put it together Friday morning. Probably do that at like 5 or 6 a.m. I'll put it together. I'll post it. But also have a recap for Servant. If you don't have Apple, it's a really good streaming service. You should consider getting it. I have a season 1 recap. I have a season 2 recap. I have a season 1 and 2 recap. So that'll be dropping. And then Monday, brought up a little bit earlier with somebody in the chat that I think it was Ethan brought it up. Snowpiercer season 3 drops on Monday. Can't wait for that show. Really good show. And I have season 1 and 2 recap as well. So a lot of recaps on the channel for some stuff that is dropping in the next couple of days. Consider going and, getting caught up or sharing or just as I said, putting stuff on mute and letting ads run. That's also appreciated. Thumbs down, thumbs up, comments, whatever. Let's go. This was great. I think William said season 5 is going to be really good. Look, Danny, though, but of course they're going to say season 5 is going to be really good. They're not going to come out and be like, hey, season 5 is going to kind of suck. I read the script. It's not that great. They're all going to say it's going to be really good. I expect it to be good, though, because seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4 have been good. I just worry that the show is kind of running its course. But yeah, I expect it to be good. But also keep in mind, these are actors. They want the season to continue. They know what they're doing. You're never going to hear an actor go out and say, God, that thing I'm in sucks. It's a real piece of crap. So they'll do it after the fact, but they never do it beforehand. They want to get you hyped up. It's understandable. Good show, dude. Keep it up. Thank you, Supernova. I appreciate it. Maybe they were saving whether or not if Silver knows about Tori's situation because they are planning on having him use it against her. Maybe, yeah, it's very possible. Great, very real possibility, Melissa, that they do that. I could 100% believe that. If it happens, I will credit you for sure because I hadn't thought about it, but I think it's very realistic where he throws the bag at her and says, here you go, here's a blank check, shut your mouth. And then she's torn with the claim that she's getting of being a champion, knowing full well that she's not. Do you like how Miguel is taking his... Let's just start with, do I like Miguel? No, I don't. Miguel Rush. Miguel is one of the worst actors I've ever seen. There's just like this kid's gotten worse. And I'm not trying to be Siskel and Ebert here. I mean, we're talking about a show based on a 1980s movie. I know what I'm getting. Like, and I check the bad acting at the door, honestly, but sometimes it's so bad that it's just really, really noticeable. So Miguel somehow has gotten worse. Season 1 actually didn't think he's that bad, and then now he's sitting there going, "Oh my god, but Hulk is my friend." It's just bad stuff. Do I like what they're doing with his character though? I guess. I mean, I don't really care. I think a realistic approach is within 3 episodes he's back in the valley. Johnny went down, found him. He's crying in Johnny's arms because he realized that his dad was a complete and total piece of shit. Johnny brings him back, and then Johnny realizes that he might have to go and find his own dad because, this 17-year-old kid just did what he never wanted to and was too scared to. So, the whole getting on a bus thing, yeah, whatever. All right, that'll be it for me. I have an early morning tomorrow. I got to get to work. So thank you all for watching, for liking Vince, the donation. I appreciate it. Hit thumbs down, hit thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever, all that good stuff. And as I said, Friday will be a big day for the channel. Just keep a lookout for the recaps if you want them. If you don't, obviously, just don't unsubscribe, please. Thank you. But I will talk to you guys the next time. I might actually do an Ozark recap, but it probably won't be for 2 weeks or so. I like to try to let these things breathe a little bit. Not everybody watches these shows drop of a hat. I'm not going to do it on Monday, obviously, because people have lives and stuff. So like with Cobra Kai, I'll wait a couple weeks. I'll get on it. But thanks, and we'll talk to you next time I do one of these things.